Really would say, I don't believe in that man. Oh my, but yes, it brings back memories of the things that I say to him, that type of thing.
Today in the Woods.
Today in the Woods is part of an ongoing series called Why I Teach that honors the teaching profession. I want to honor Mr. Worthy. Now, even if you're not from Chester, you will appreciate this interview with Mr. Worthy. He has so many words of wisdom, as so many teachers do, to share with the world. Now, if you are from Chester, chances are at one time, Mr. Worthy probably told you this.
You just miss it, young man.
Former teachers I've had like Mr. Worthy and so many others I'm going to honor on the show, if I'm having a bad day or anything, I think about these individuals and I'm inspired. And one reason that I teach is I want to share and pass along these wonderful information and the great seeds that these individuals have planted in my life and continue that knowledge on. And to me, that's what the teaching profession is about. I said that each student is a miracle beyond comprehension. And certainly an individual like Mr. Worthy is a wonderful gift to the world. And he's a miracle beyond comprehension as well. Interview with Mr. Worthy to share why he teaches.
When I was in the 5th grade, I had a teacher by the name of Miss Alma Pendergrass Wilkes. I didn't realize she was related to me at the time because, little children don't know. But she made us feel a certain way. I studied drawing maps and figuring out about the what states belonged where and where the capitals were. And I had studied my sister's books. I was only 10, but I had studied her book. She was 11th grade as I was in the 5th grade. And I made 2 mistakes. I mixed up South Dakota and North Dakota in the capitals, but I was so full of myself, I guess you could say. I went in to her and she corrected me and she said, oh, she saw that I was so disappointed that I had not gotten a perfect 100, but it was still an A. She hugged me and she said, now I want you to help the others. And so I went out and I said, that Florida looks like a boot. South Carolina shaped like a pie. And I was teaching and I was just 10. This is what I want to do.
And everyone jokes, of course, that you've been teaching here since the school was built.
But that's been 44 years ago. Is that 44, 1974? So I actually did come when the school started. But I wasn't teaching then. I'm a graduate of Chester High School.
Okay.
The Worthies have been here for a long time. I actually came in 1974. We moved here. I was one of the first in that class of 74. And the school was so new and shiny and just so wonderful with the smell of all of its own. We were so excited. We had those rooms that could open up the petitions. But of course, we still had problems, but the roof was leaking. Though my certificate, I started as a teacher in 1979. But I came here in 1980. And I said, I'm going to end up somewhere else. I'm not going to stay here for 5 years. But the Lord has a plan for you, and I've enjoyed most of the time, not every year, not every day, but I've enjoyed my time here immensely because I've felt that I made a difference. It's like one of my favorite movies is Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. It's a Wonderful Life with Jimmy Stewart, one of my favorite actors. He had touched so many lives, and he had, what would life have been if he had not lived, had not been there. So I see that if I had not been around, there would have been a great many differences, a great many changes in their lives. So I know that I've made a difference there in some positive way.
If you cut through all the noise, what is really at the heart of what teaching is about?
Teaching is a passion. You have to have a passion to want children to learn. And you're going to have disappointments. They're children. They are not young adults with everything fully developed. But teaching is a passion. You have to have passion for anything. It is not a job. If you have a passion for what you do, you don't mind getting here early. I get here a little after 6 o'clock. Sometimes it's 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock. I work with the yearbook, and sometimes that hour goes on into the wee hours of the night. But I don't mind because I have that passion. But I want to work with them one-on-one. I want the light bulb to come on. I want them to see that there's somebody that cares for you other than your family. You know, you need to meet people that say that Mr. Worthy really wanted me to learn, and I appreciate that. Sometimes it's much later why that they remember that, or that they can see that. But I teach because, and teaches them not how bad you are. They already know that, but what you can become, a discovery, a path, a journey where you can become a better you. And a lot of times that works if children know you care about them. And they know immediately by looking into your eye that you care. And I think that's what education is about, what learning and teaching is about. Caring for children, and they get it, and they're trying. But I use as my model a man named Mr. Jeff Brown, who began teaching in 1952, and taught for 37 years. But he is still recognized and still thought is still sharp. I would like to be Mr. Brown. And you know, this is years later. I would say, Mr. Worthy used to teach, taught 40 years, but he still got something to give. I'd like to come back and be able to sort of say, now, we used to do it this way. But yet generation, I have parents who come to me and they want their children in my class. I probably have some parents who say, Mr. Worthy was too hard. I'd rather that he didn't teach my child. I had a parent just 2 years ago, or maybe a year or two, they said, Mr. Worthy, I don't want you to be easy on my child. My child, he went on to be valedictorian, but she said, I know that in your class, it's going to be a challenge. So you want parents to see what you're doing and not say that I want my child to always make an A. You want them to do the best that they can and not be so grade conscious, but the learning is important. Tell your mamas and the daddies to come, but tell them the truth. I said, whatever you did, I'm going to tell them. So tell them the truth when you go. But as I said, it is forgotten the next day when you get a little upset with them because they've done something wrong. It's like a coach. It's not personal. It's not personal. They want you to correct the misbehavior, but they want you to also know there's a new start every day, new slate. And we got to be very careful because we can't down or be a dream buster. We got to be a dream builder. Something that you said to them might have hurt that child that they couldn't do, but you want to be able to say you can do anything you want to do if you work hard enough and work to achieve that goal. So I believe that over generations, it is wonderful, but I can see parents, I don't know whether I've seen any grandparents yet that come back and say, you taught my child and my grandchild.
You still have time for that.
I still have time for that. But yes, Mr. Worthy does stand, and on every day, I stand at the door waiting for the children to come in for the particular first period. So no, but when I was in college, Pete, the professors sat down. I might have said that I might call people Agnes or Gertrude, and it's just a humorous name. They think the names are ugly, but they're not ugly names. They're names. I knew Agnes. There was an Agnes Love, remember? And there were Agneses that were on in the movies and what have you. I always try to use Gertrude. I had a young man, in fact, it's Mr. Williams, Dr. Williams' brother. He remembered in 1980, mid-1980s, he saw me walking into the hospital. He said, Gertrude, Gertrude, because he remembered that I used to call people Gertrude just for attention. But I use the names for humor. Anything else that you have to tell me or make me remember what I used to say.
Thanks so much for watching. You know, Mr. Worthy is without a doubt one of the most influential individuals in our community. And I think that's true of so many teachers who have done so much over the years to plant seeds of wisdom into the youth and let that grow upwards and outwards into the community and into the world. So if you would, comment below with your favorite Mr. Worthy story, or just let him know how much you appreciate him as an educator and the things he's done for you in this in your life. That's what this series is about, why I teach, to give thanks to the teachers who have blessed our life. And likewise, I'm going to be covering different teachers on this show moving forward that have impacted my life that I know personally. But if they're teachers you know that have impacted your life, put their name below and I'll try to catch up with them as well at some point, because I really do want to showcase the teachers that have made impacts on all of our lives. Students are a miracle beyond comprehension, and certainly teachers are, for all the wisdom they impart that go beyond things just being about a Scantron, and instead impart this understanding that we're all in a great onwards, outwards, and upwards. We'll be truly glad. There's wonderful joy ahead if you just take long enough to think about it. Thanks to all the teachers out there who have impacted my life. Thanks to Mr. Worthy. Remember to comment below, thank you, Mr. Worthy, or sharing another teacher story. And we'll see you next time, Today in the Woods.
Today in the Woods.